I don't know. But
I feel sorry for him already. I don't even know him. I've never seen him play. We haven't seen him here in the singles or doubles.
Tell us about Basje JONGEN.
Job.
If you know Basje JONGEN, which I'm sure is a horrible pronunciation of his name, Basje JONGEN, let us know what about his game.
We'll find out in a minute, but I'm sure he's been sweating for the last half hour.
What?
He was sitting there sweating, I'm sure,
yes.
knowing that he's about to
explode.
Well, play against Kevin HUNDSTORFER.
Holding his own so far. Mark is the TMZ of Foos.
Who might be all in for a surprise, who knows?
Basje is
he
so
might be
good.
the total underdog.
We got a great comment here from Bonk Double. Basje is so good to win against Kevin on Leo.
Really?
Ooh, that's big.
Well, we will see. I'm always for the underdog. I don't know why, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just,
It's the most fun when you switch back and forth because someone else becomes the underdog at some point, and you're like, you know what? Now it's time for me to move my positive energy to the other side. But Kevin is good on all these tables.
Okay, so he earned his position, well, his ticket for the World Cup in the Dutch Championships. He's really a talent, so.
Kevin just knows he needs to score quickly and keep scoring.
Yep.
And yeah, that's true. This is Basje's home table, and he shouldn't be toyed with. Great recovery. Push
Compared
attempt.
to Tuan, who played the first single. Sounds promising.
This is the danger with, he picked up 2 points on his home table. Kevin is super duper dangerous. We saw Tony Spredeman do this for the Americans when they played against Netherlands. He just scored like 16 or 18 points or something. Put a team on his back.
Everything can happen.
Koji, it was 20-8 when Kevin got on, and we're talking about how Kevin could score 22 points and tighten this thing up. He's going to have to do it on his home table, though. He did steal 2 points on Leo, but he gave one up on Garlando. He gives one back up on Garlando, and the needle hasn't moved at all. Do we have anybody in the chat that doesn't know anything about what we're doing? Foosball, babyfoot, whatever you call it. Is there anyone in the chat new to foosball that's interested? We want to be inviting, we have a lot of pros and masters watching, but we were looking for new, young, fresh blood to bring into our obsessive sport and be toxic entities in your brain and turn you into addicts like the rest of us. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We have no way to monetize you, so don't be afraid. Wow, beautiful. Brush down pass. Back on the home table of Basje.
Spread the virus. Exactly. That's what we're trying to do.
No, I didn't hear 10. I'm sorry. I would call it. Let's see. Let's see it. Oh, so close. I don't know. Does it have to hit 10? Is it like a soccer goal?
It's a tough call.
To the
I don't
dog
want to be the
side.
referee.
Let's see.
What do you think?
I don't think it did. What's the
No.
rule?
The referee says no.
It's Chris Lyle.
Basje
Chris
doesn't
Lyle
seem
from the
happy.
United
He
Kingdom.
seems sure that it was in.
He's a pro from the United Kingdom.
Are you saying it's
No.
you have to make a decision, but
I say no.
It's hard to say that right-hand corner there.
it's Bruno saying it. Are you saying something?
His teammates are telling him to focus. Don't fight over it. You're going to lose focus.
Ready?
I don't think so either. I think it has to hit, yes, post, then like crossbar. I think it has to hit metal. And I don't think it hit metal. Big point there.
Yep.
Ready.
Wow. And Kevin just plays with energy and aggression. He attacks the goal at all times. He's incredibly proficient. He sees the holes quickly. And there he is, scored. Ooh.
Another one of those.
And that was a goal.
That was a goal.
I think I heard the metal that time.
The camera angle is not right. We can't really.
So he's definitely making ground. He's making ground. Now you're in Kevin's backyard. You're like in the lion's den. And it hasn't phased Basje so far. He's been doing well in Garlando, but he's got to continue. And that's right, he's been blocking Kevin pretty well. But not enough to start losing ground. That's the key thing.
Someone wants to know who the final team for the Austrians is. Do you mean who they are playing against next? Because next is, if they win this one, they will play semi-final. But we don't know against who, because the other quarterfinals are still running.
Wow, the transition rod to rod is so amazing with Kevin. You can almost feel that 5-bar shot coming. You can almost feel it coming. Boom. That's one of my favorite shots, is a little hesitation and torque the rod and shoot the push kick. It's not a smooth push kick. There's a little torque there that gets people to freeze or move. 14-22. Closing the gap. And another one. He could feel it. And you see these players, like he reminds me so much of momentum players, like high energy, you know, the unstoppable train.
You made that reference last time I was here in the stream with you, and you always said you would explain later.
Yeah, so
Now, what's the unstoppable train? Come on.
let's just, I don't want to totally distract the chat right now. Let's see what happens here on Leo. It's going to be huge if Kevin picks up another point on Leo.
Okay, we come back to the train later.
We'll come back to the unstoppable train. Look at that rod-to-rod hand speed. Some guys you just feel are brute force. Like he feels like Ryan Moore to me. Ryan Moore is a great American player. Like a momentum player, where just the rod-to-rod hand speed, and Ryan Moore's a long player, so he's like an octopus. He grabs the rods, but the velocity at which they play on the 2-bar. And great defense. Everything starts to go their way, and you start to feel more and more behind. The unstoppable train, okay. I've never played a game called Grand Theft Auto. There's a game called Grand Theft Auto. But there's these little video vignettes that happen on Facebook. You pick it up very, very quickly. When he gets on a roll, man, he's just going to roll you over. And he's starting to double up now, right? This will be his... And Basje's got to hold on. He's got to hold on. Just like that. He's got to stay... off a man, just broke the zone.
Okay.
They can't even remember what table they're supposed to be on. Just missed it. This is big for Basje. Because Kevin picked up the 2 on Garlando. And if Kevin continues to split or go +2 on Leo, it's going to catch up so quick. What a beauty. And that's the other thing. You expect him to shoot, and he switches it up, and he gets the quick pass. Shoots on goal. That's what I mean, everything. Oh, he's just going for it.
The unstoppable train.
Oh, wow, steal. What you love about that. So Kevin plays momentum. He's hitting the ball hard. He's at full velocity. And then he just has this very cerebral, complex defense he's playing, passing to his 3-bar. So he's playing all facets of the game right now. Fast, slow,
what would you
speed.
say to Basje right now? What can you do for the unstoppable train or against him?
Value your possessions, because the more possessions you give Kevin right now, the more dangerous he becomes. A guy like this is taken out of his game when he doesn't get the ball. So if he was really to slow it down, but it might not be his game to do it. If he has it in his game to slow it, that's what I'm talking about. If he has it in his game to slow the game down to a crawl, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds, you can make Kevin feel more, maybe if you're lucky, you make him feel less and less a part of it.
Can you guys, no? Okay.
And then he just picked one up on Garlando. He's starting to feel it now. He's starting to feel it.
How do players keep motivated? Like Basje is, Kevin is so dominant on both tables right now. How do you think can someone like Basje in that position, that situation now, how can he keep focused?
Yeah, I mean, like
what
I would do, I mean, he needed that for sure. 17 to 24. What I would do if he has a 2 to the 5, he could take 15 seconds passing on the 2 to the 5 instead of shooting, because shooting is a risk that you give Kevin another possession. Get the ball in your 5-bar, take the full 10 seconds. Get the ball in your 3-bar, take the full 15 seconds. That's how you get a little bit of control over Kevin's momentum. When you shoot from the 2-bar and you miss, you give Kevin another opportunity. And Kevin can clearly, that's what I mean. Kevin can clearly, he'll rod to rod and rod to rod hand speed and picking up the breaks, making the smart plays. I don't think Basje has a chance against Kevin.
He seems to get nervous, really.
It might not even be that he's really. I'm not sure about that. But hey,
what do they call?
I also play long now.
I guess it was a jar and he lost possession.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, ready.
Long time, I know.
Yeah, ready. Ready.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, they're still smiling and having fun.
What a block. Look at that. So dangerous right now. When guys that have been around the game, because he won his first world championship here when he was 18, then he won again a few years later. Those guys, to win a world championship at 18 at this tournament, he's been playing for a long time. He's been playing since childhood. And the little things, the instinctive things, like the quick pickups, the grabs, the small little details that separate masters from pros, you know, the right motion at the right time to make sure you don't lose the ball out of your area. Those things are instinctive for him. And so when he gets in this unstoppable train mode, it all goes his way. Every little thing starts going his way. Your best opportunity is to not give him time. Use time of possession as a defense. Time of possession, because the more he touches the ball, the more lethal he gets. Now he's in full-on freight train mode.
Oh, look at that! Only 3 more to go.
This
3 more
started
goals. Crazy.
at 20-8.
Crazy. Is it something that is in your DNA, or that's just so you need to learn? You need to start playing as a kid, or can you
Really?
make that up
I
by
don't know.
training?
I'm just talking about, you got another call. I don't know about that call, man. Well, I want to get to that, back to that in a second. Let's see if Basje scores. Wow. That was rough. So when you talk about it being in your DNA, people like to throw these words around like talent. And maybe there's some part of that that's talent. But you know, the guys that seem to have the most skill always work the hardest. For Kevin to be this good, he sat on a table X amount of hours a day from the point he was 10. Who knows? But he played hours and hours per day. And it became a part of his wiring because of all the time he put in. These are huge points. These are huge points. I think that call on Kevin as a jar on his 3-bar is a massive call. And those things need to be looked at later. Those are really rough calls. But at the rate of the threat of exchange, Kevin's still going to get to 30 first. He's going to put his team in place to win, or to at least be competitive.
Can you become this good when you start really late, like say in your mid-20s?
I think you can. And, you know, Koji says something, definitely put the work in, but also has a gift. Sometimes that gift, and this is going to get into a weird space, but sometimes that gift is, what kind of family structure do you have? Do you have supportive parents, or did you have non-supportive parents that drove you? Are you driven? What is your sense of self-determination and will to win when the pressure's on? And sometimes that's viewed as a gift, and a lot of that, I've seen both types. I've seen players that took foosball in as a mechanism because they didn't have support. And I've seen players that had incredible support. Meanwhile, huge shot here. This is going right back. They're getting a couple points back. So that gift of will and self-determination, however that thing springs forth in different people for different reasons, is the reason why they close matches. And I'll talk about that in a second. So my idea is that there's all these levels of play, but then there's the 1% that are winners, and those are the masters. There's all these pros, and fine, you are competitive, and you place really well, but the masters are the champions, and that actually was a clear jar. That was a clear one.
Yeah, ready?
So the true champions, the masters, are the ones that continuously win. They're usually in the top 1%. Oh, what a beauty. That deep, long pull shot. What a beauty. And Kevin HUNDSTORFER is a master. A deep, long pull shot. Meaning he doesn't just have all the talent, the skill, and he's not just the unstoppable train. When he gets to 4-4, whatever the championship point is, he closes the deal. He finishes it. There's a ton of guys that can get to that last point, but they can't score that last point. And it's because they don't have the winning mentality. And they're always challengers. They're not champions. Got it right back. Wow. He has closed the gap here. The Americans are up 25-14 against Kuwait. Ooh, just missed it.
So you think if I start training tomorrow and I'm starting to play every day and train for 3 hours a day, I could play in the World Cup?
How many
Maybe by the time I reach seniors, the seniors bracket.
How many hours a day?
If I start now and I start, say, let's say 2 to 3 hours a day, how long would it take me to get really good?
I don't want to question your core competencies, your learning agility, but there's a lot to it, right? You'd have to watch video. You'd have to get professional guidance and coaching. You'd have to learn all the fundamentals. You have to play against people, and you got to regularly play against people better than you. Well, Kevin here, an opportunity to make it within 1 point.
Thanks for subscribing, Lutoka.
I think one thing that. Ooh,
wow.
What a turn of events. It's 28. He's working so hard. They scored so many points. He's within 3 now. One thing that separates champions is not having a fear of losing. Champions aren't afraid to lose, and so it's not lingering in their minds during the heat of the competition. Real champion masters put it all out there, leave it all out there, and don't care about what anyone thinks when they're playing. They don't care what anyone thinks, not worried about how they seem or are perceived, and are not afraid to lose. Look at that, 26.
He wasn't really playing like this when he played the final yesterday against Ruben Heinrich.
Against Ruben?
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about that, but there's something to be said about Ruben was the shark smelling blood in the water. Ruben, I think what we're seeing Kevin do now is what we saw Ruben do to Kevin yesterday. Ooh, and blocked to the goal.
Do you think Ruben was the unstoppable train?
Blocked to the goal. Wow. There it is. Can he give his team a 2-point lead from a 20-8 gap? We said this before it even started. He could score 22 points. This is really ridiculous. Fighting for every ball now. Oh. This is amazing. We're watching amazing play from Kevin HUNDSTORFER. They're just trying to get their team in with a 2-point lead at this point. And Kevin is on pace. Kevin is on pace to give his team a 1-point lead going into the final round. Wow. So no matter what happens here, it's within 1 point going into the final round. And then it comes down to doubles. So this point is crucial, though. Wow, the fire, man. The fire and the excitement from Kevin. We see he has a smoking pull shot from back there. It's a monster.
That's true.
And there it is. That's it. That's it. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. Look at Kevin HUNDSTORFER. He had a mountain to climb, and his fingernails are bleeding as he gets to the top of that mountain, he's done everything he can do. He can actually sit down. He's just a beast pull shot. He gives his team a 1-point lead.